This is Gaming Face Punch.
I forgot about XCOM 2 for a bit, and then they released this bit of footage, and I've got all excited all over again for it. It looks fantastic. They released 12 minutes of the intro of the game, and they show you the Avenger, which is the XCOM home base, and they take you to the Avenger, and you get to meet the engineering section and the science section and the kind of, what do you call it, the situation room and all that stuff, which was fantastic. It's a bit weird because your character's been asleep for over 20 years. I don't know how long he's been asleep for, but it says over 20 years. He's got this weird, mysterious chip thing in the back of his head, which is probably going to play into the overall story. And then they've got some new characters in there. There's a guy called Dr. Tegan, who's replaced Dr. Van Halen, who's the slightly creepy German lady from the first game. They've got lots of things like genetic engineering, so you can sit there and modify your soldiers to heal better. No signs of cybernetic enhancements like you had in Enemy Within. And then they have these weird drone things, which are called gremlins, which look quite cool. Plus, the map is now divided up into global sections, so you've got things like kind of Europe and North Africa and West Africa and bits like that. So you get to travel a bit more with your mobile base. There seems to be a damn sight more customization on the guns and whatnot. And it's slated for a November release. I think it's going to come out. I am really buzzed for this game. I love the original XCOM. I miss playing strategy games because everything kind of just turned into first-person shooters across the 7th generation, and strategy games kind of died off. But XCOM kind of indicates some kind of resurgence in the whole strategy thing. So, did you see the 12 minutes of XCOM footage?
Yes, I did, and that was actually the first bit of anything I've ever heard of that series or that game. And like you, I would be very fond of strategy games and whatnot. I think one time we were talking on Twitter about the Total War series, and I noticed kind of in the trailer it was a bit of lobbying going on between the different sections of the Avenger. There was the engineer was saying, it would really help out if you kind of supported me a bit, and then there was that other guy that showed the chip in the back of his brain was there.
Yes, you had.
He was trying to get something, and I'm not aware of how the first story was. I tried to do a bit of research on it before this, but I was thinking that the developer said they're gameplay driven and not story driven, which I suppose is evident by being asleep for 20 years, so everything you did in the first game kind of doesn't matter anymore to a certain degree. And I was thinking maybe the chip has already done what it was intended to do by the aliens or whoever put it there, and maybe you'll switch sides halfway through the game so as that you get the perspective then of the invading forces. I don't know if I completely grabbed that the wrong way, but I was just trying to think of something to say about a game that I hadn't heard of.
No, that's fine. That's something I didn't realise, because you kind of play the first game and you're just on the human side full stop. You don't want anything to be aliens. You're trying to find out what's going on, because the story of XCOM Enemy Unknown or Enemy Within is aliens are kind of running an experiment to see if you can access humans have a genetic potential to do something, because it isn't a full-scale invasion. They're kind of doing these little incursions here and there so you can man it.
Yeah.
But in this game, they look like they did a full-scale incursion and just wiped everyone out within probably 11 minutes, including yourself and whatever remained of the XCOM team. I didn't think of the side-swapping thing.
I noticed as well that whenever they were customizing one of the soldiers, it said that his nationality was Norwegian, and they were doing all these different customized things on him. And when I was actually really impressed with that part, because I was looking at him and I thought he actually does look like a Norwegian, and he actually looked a bit like, I don't know if you've seen it, the show Vikings.
Yes,
he looked about Ragnar Lothbrok, or I think that's his name, something like that. But he looked a lot like him, and it looks a good game.
Did you notice the little things where you could put personality things in it, like you could put twitchy and aggressive and playful and all that sort of thing, which I imagine would contribute to panic. So you'd have certain characters that panic easier than others with personality types.
I didn't even think of that, actually. Yeah,
it looks fantastic. I am genuinely excited for this game. The end of this year, game-wise, looks really exciting. We've got Battlefront, we've got No Man's Sky, we've got we've got Fallout 4, and it looks cool.
Thanks so much for watching this video.
If you enjoyed it, hit that like button.
If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button.
And don't forget to comment down below.
Follow us on Twitter.
Add us on Google+.
And like us on Facebook.
And don't forget, we got a website too.